record. Okay. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Uprising. Today, we are live here. I'm doing this video actually for kind of an interesting reason. I'm just making my morning breakfast. I'm going to show you guys. I'm here in Japan, obviously, and I'm just going to make my breakfast, which is what I normally do in the mornings. And I'll do a Q&A with you guys. I say Q&A because I get people asking questions all the time, and this one's, I wouldn't say that it's like an interesting question, it's just interesting how it happened. So let's see here, I'm going to try to point the camera at the, if I can get it pointed right at the smoothie area so you can see what I'm making for breakfast. And if you guys have any questions, which nobody's in here right now, so. But yeah, this video is mostly for somebody. Actually, more than one person have emailed me about skin issues. And, well, it's interesting because something came up yesterday. I guess I don't need to go into detail about it. That answers a lot of these questions, though I've already had really good success with overcoming skin issues. And so I was going to answer basically that question for some of these people, because it's difficult to set up the times when we can talk and things of this nature. So when I'm doing my live videos, just from making my own breakfast, I can answer the questions about how to resolve, potentially. Now, I will begin by saying, I'm not giving you any medical advice. I'm certainly not making any medical claims. I'm not making any claims for or against any product or products, and everything is stated by the opinions of the speaker and should not be construed as claims for or against any product or products. Okay, so there's my disclaimer, guys. And beyond that, let's make a smoothie. And I think I'd like to wait though until the people who would like to know about how to resolve skin issues either join the room or unless anybody has another question about health, or because there's a lot of, right now, at least the people in America are in big trouble. The statistics, as of the latest statistics, as of right now, are that almost 60% of Americans, now just think about that for literally a second. Let that sink in. Almost 60% of Americans have some type of chronic medical condition. Back in the day, I think it was back in the 60s? Somewhere around that time, it was something in the neighborhood of 6%. So things have just gotten completely out of control in regards to health. Now, people can ask why, which I won't go into that. Why don't we just see what we can do to resolve these issues? And one of those issues is skin issues. Now, typically what I have noticed is that it's something that we're doing to ourselves. Now, most people would be like, what? I'm not doing this to myself. What I mean by that is literally something that you're either eating, drinking. The problem is, you don't really know what it's in. Now somebody just said, it's Ivana says, where are you? In Mexico? No, I'm in Japan. I'm about as farthest from Mexico as you can get. So no, I'm in Japan right now. That's where I'm living now. And my smoothie's gonna be a little different because the ingredients here that I'm able to get are quite different. Now, so there's multiple things. I'll just give you guys, in my opinion, what I would do. How's that? For a skin issue or skin disorder. The first thing I would do is, I'm always really big on just, you gotta clean up your water. This is gonna be about eliminating certain things in your life, excuse me, that quote unquote cause a lot of issues with your health. The first one is, gotta clean up your water because, in my opinion, there's just some crazy stuff in your water. Now, what exactly would you use to clean water? Because all water filters are by far not created equal. In fact, most water filters are carbon filters and they will not remove everything out of water. That's where carbon distillation comes into play, if you guys ever know. That's what I do. You can watch my video 388 if you want to see the lab reports and the scientific evidence, and yikes. I do not want to get these vegetables. This kitchen, not my kitchen. And boy, it smells like fish in here. They were cooking up a storm here yesterday with a bunch of seafood. We'll see how long I can be on camera until the owners come back. I gotta hurry up and make my breakfast before they get back. So first you clean your water. Now, for skin issues, in my opinion, there's two magical things that you can do. Well, the magical one is hydrogen. So hydrogen's just, I've seen it do some amazing things for skin issues. In fact, I just worked with somebody recently who's got that skin disorder where they get these like blotchy spots on their skin. They've been trying numerous things forever, going to doctors. Nobody can fix it. They've had great results. There was another guy with some incurable skin disorder. I did a video. I showed the before and after pictures and all that stuff. So hydrogen's amazing, but you also want to eliminate things that you're potentially putting in your system. And one of the big ones is seed oils. And that means any stir-fried food, pan-fried food, deep-fried food, anything with heated oils. In my opinion, extremely bad for your skin. In fact, I had a skin problem back in the day, and so many dermatologists and so many doctors, and nobody could figure out how to fix it. Of course, they put me on all these medicines and yada, 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 and things just got worse, actually. So here I'm taking these pharmaceutical medicines. By the way, consult your physicians. I'm not giving you any medical advice. And the culprit, because I did end up finding the solution to my problem, for me, it was seed oils, these heated oils. I believe that it's a problem for a lot of people, actually. And they cause so many other issues in regards to health. Now, a lot of people will say things like, well, I only use olive oil. And some people will be like, oh no, but I only use coconut oil. And no, I only use whatever kind of oil, I don't know. Let me just tell you right now, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, it doesn't matter. All those oils, for me, they all cause me issues. They will all they just ruin my skin. So, I'll tell you the magical secret, and there's only like, how many people in here? 17 people, like literally the secret. I'm going to tell you a huge secret to health and why these oils and other things cause issues. It has to do with their burning temperature, when something turns into a carcinogen. The magic of water, so this is what I recommend to people. This is what I personally do, right? Maybe I don't recommend it, this is what I personally do. Everything that I eat, or if you really want to improve your health, like if you want to transform your life and really take your health to the next level, everything you eat should either be steamed, boiled, fermented, or just raw. Now, you may be like, well, I don't know how that makes a difference. I'm going to tell you the secret. You know what? You guys need me to point the camera for me washing vegetables? You don't need to see me washing vegetables, right? But anyway. So, the magical thing about water is that water has what they call a boiling point. So water will not, it just won't burn your food. Like, you know what they did yesterday? They did barbecue. And the barbecue was just, literally, it was so sad actually, because they went out and bought all these amazing ingredients, and mushrooms and vegetables, and of course meat and seafood and all these different things. And everything was getting burned. Everything was all charcoaled, and I'm literally just eating charcoaly vegetables and mushrooms, and honestly, it wasn't pleasant at all. You know, all skewered or whatever. And I know they were trying to be nice and inviting me to this, but, you know, with water, you can't burn, really. You know, you can't make your vegetables go black from charcoaly, you know, like just all burnt, like burning your toast or whatever. So that's the magic of water. I mean, tell you right now, water is magical. You get clean water, you obviously get clean hydrogen, and then your food, cook it with water and have a meal or have food that is high in water content. So right now, I'm not a huge fan of dry foods. I mean, you can use them once in a while. But look at all this food that I'm putting in my smoothie. All this stuff has water in it. Lots of water. The other thing is, so when I was talking about seed oil, I know a lot of people who would say like, oh, I don't consume any heated oils. I don't eat fried food. Well, this will be surprising to you. For foods that you buy, look at the ingredients. Even like just bread. You're like, oh, let me get some bread. You're going to see most likely some type of vegetable oil. Any vegetable oil, canola oil, palm oil, olive oil, whatever, seed oil, whatever you want to call it. If you see that in the ingredients, that's a problem already. And because, by the way, those oils cause your body to actually create toxic fat and make you crave sugar. As crazy as that sounds. And then you've got processed sugar or high corn fructose corn syrup or whatever. These combinations are a really bad combination. So you have to get off these seeded oils. And really, what should you be eating, in my opinion? Well, I'll give you a list of stuff. You can choose, obviously. It's all about fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, beans, mushrooms, and if you want to go and take a next step, it would be meat and seafood and eggs. I'm not a huge fan of dairy. Dairy is like, yeah, but obviously everything in moderation. But it's the oils and the sugars, and then just processed stuff in general. The processed foods and stuff. You'd be surprised how much your skin will improve. All right, guys. Let's show you. Okay, so here's the smoothie. There's the vegetables, right? How many vegetables we jam-packed in there? Now, let's put some walnuts. They have good fats, healthy fats, that are not heated. They're just dried walnuts. I usually like to soak them in water if I can, but clearly I wasn't able to do that today. So most of the food here is carrying water. Water is the key in the ticket here. And if I had my own kitchen, I would be soaking these in super clean hydrogen water. But we do what we can. We do the best we can, and that's all we can do. Okay? All right. That's next. Now, I actually have a few magic ingredients. And when I say magic, I'm talking about magical for your health. Green matcha. This is from green tea. The nice thing about this stuff is it makes the smoothie taste really creamy. And all the health benefits, especially being anti-cancerous, anti-parasitic, good for the brain, yada, yada, yada. Sorry about this camera. I wish I could somehow, I don't know if it's working for you guys, but hopefully so. Okay, next magic ingredient. This one's not as magical. This one just gives a little good flavor. It aids with digestion. It's just some prunes, but they have really good minerals. By the way, one of the secrets to health, yes, water, yes, hydration, and the other one is minerals. And one thing you're going to notice about everything I'm putting in here, it's all rich in minerals, from the vegetables to the nuts to even the matcha. And you should see the way the Japanese, one of the reasons I'm here in this country, is the way they treat their soil, and it's so rich in minerals. Amazing. Now this is the magic ingredient. This right here, guys, if you want to change your health, this stuff right here has almost as much protein as beef, but it has a special enzyme that no food in the world has. Only this food has it. The health benefits, this also thins your blood a little bit, so it acts like a natural statin, which is actually, believe it or not, a good thing. That's natto. It is I'm about to show you what it looks like. You have to activate it according to the science. So if you guys know I'm a big science kind of data guy. And we're about to activate the natto. It's a fermented bean. Also shown to be highly anti-cancerous, allow the body to actually oxygenate cancer cells, which is very bad for cancer because it doesn't like oxygen. And the benefits just go on and on and on. And that special enzyme dissolves things. I can't make any claims, so I'm not going to say anything about whatever, but I've been making this smoothie with this particular ingredient because let's just say I caught a type of flu. I won't even say what it is that I got. Okay, so this is how you activate it. See how it looks right now? You have to stir it. It's alive. When you stir it, the data shows you kind of want to stir it at least 100 times, but as you get acclimated with this stuff, you'll kind of know what it should look like. And what I can tell you is it starts like almost like foaming up. The good bacteria in this stuff begins to come to life. And this stuff is crazy, crazy next level. It is actually a food that is alive. See, food that's alive, believe it or not, is really good for you. And somebody says, are pine nuts good to add to your smoothies? In my opinion, absolutely. You can put them on salads too. Nuts are really good for you guys. However, pine nuts are just pretty darn expensive, but they're really good for you. All the nuts and seeds and beans and mushrooms and vegetables and all this stuff, in my opinion, right? Because I know a lot of people get really weird about the whole diet thing. But look at this. Now it's really, really foaming up. Look at this thing. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it is utterly, it gets slimy. And this stuff, a lot of people just can't eat it. It's a very cultural food in Japan here. Some people just do not like the flavor. It did take me about 3 to 4 years to get used to the flavor. Now I'm fine with it, but if you have a hard time with it, put it in your smoothie like this, you won't even taste it. In fact, I made this smoothie in front of some Japanese people yesterday, and they were like, are you flipping kidding me right now? You're putting natto? Like, because it's our cultural food. Nobody puts natto in a smoothie. Nobody does that. And they have smoothies here. You should see the smoothie bars they got. But they're like, nobody does that. And they say it's going to ruin the flavor of the smoothie. I'm like, oh, really? Okay. You guys don't have to drink it. And then, of course, after I was done making it, they're like, well, can I try it? Sure. So they drink it and they're like, oh, I can't believe it tastes that good. It's full of vegetables and natto and matcha. And like, what in the world? How in the world does this thing taste good? And I said, well, I'll show you the secret. Fermented beans, did you say? Yep, that's exactly what it is. It is a fermented bean. And I'm going to apologize beforehand because if the owners get back, I have to kind of cut off the camera right away because, well, I don't want to take over their kitchen. It's kind of rude. And so we'll be here as long as we can to answer any questions anybody might have. And so the next ingredient, ginger. Ginger, my goodness, guys, if you were to Google the health benefits of ginger, you're going to be in for a treat if you're trying to improve your health. There is so many. It's not just like one or two. There's so many benefits that I even can't remember them all, from anti-parasitic to some words that I don't even want to say because I know how the algorithm on here causes issues, to, let's just say, good for colds and increase in core body temperature, which is actually a really good thing because of the way that it helps the blood move. And by the way, the key, one of the other keys to health is the way that the blood moves. All I can tell you is there's massive, massive amount of health benefits from ginger. And if you just, like I said, seriously, just Google it, you'll see a massive list. I did a video on it before, but ginger is extremely good for you. And of course, I found it. And you know what? I like it. It tastes, you barely taste it in the smoothie, but it gives it this little hint of spicy as long as you don't put too much of it. And how many people eat raw ginger like this? See, that's the thing. You're not going to consume these. I mean, that's like the Japanese people who saw me make it. It's like nobody's going to sit down and just eat a lot of this stuff. So that's why you put it in this raw form in a smoothie. And I'll show you the secret on how to make it taste good, by the way, because that was the thing. They were like, wait a second, how did you make this thing taste this good? Well, I'm about to show you guys. Okay, let's grab the next ingredient. Oh no. Okay. Here's one of the secrets. There's a lot of them, but here's one of them. Pineapple. Pineapple also has a wonderful special enzyme in it, and it actually transforms the flavor of these smooth. Oh no, that was not good. You guys see that? Pineapple just jumped out of the bag. I gotta wash this. Hold on. Alright, let's put that in there. Don't want to waste any of it. So pineapple really helps transform the flavor. I like to use berries usually, when I was living in the US. Berries, like blueberries, don't really transform the flavor as much, but they're really good for you. Pineapple is just a little different. Oh yeah, somebody was asking again about those beans. Yes, it's a fermented bean. Good luck finding, any culture that does that too often. But tempeh is another good one. Tempeh is second best in my opinion. These are some frozen mangoes. So I'm just finding stuff at the store, do the best I can. My smoothies are different when I was in the US, and to be quite honest, I think they were probably better. But Japan, like there's ingredients, I believe it's either, I can't remember if it's 100 or 1,000 ingredients in America that are illegal in other countries. So there's a lot of stuff in America that, dare I say, I just want to say that in my opinion, they're really not good for you. All right, let's push down this smoothie to make room. Now the next ingredient, I certainly don't have to put it in there, but I do think it's good for you. Believe it or not, it actually doesn't transform the flavor much, and that's berries, blackberries, raspberries, cherries, just a mixture of these berries. And I found them frozen. So you should have seen me at the grocery store. I just go around trying to grab stuff that I'm going to throw in this smoothie that I know is just good for me. And so, let's put some berries in here. Ooh, okay, there we go. Ooh, strawberries. All right. I'll tell you, the Japanese, there's these farmers out here. They love farming around here. And I got these fresh strawberries from a farmer. Guys, I am not kidding you. I'm not just saying this. They were the best strawberries I've ever had. Unbelievably, like all these strawberries I've seen like in the US, like they can look super red and super great, whatever, but then you eat them and they're just kind of like not that sweet. The ones here are just so crazy sweet. And I was like, how are they tasting like this? And they were all organic too. They said, we didn't use any chemicals at all. And they said, we've been cultivating our soil for years. When I say cultivating, like we're talking like they treat their soil like that's the key to farming apparently around here. Like it's all about the soil. And the soil's so rich in minerals. I'm telling you right now, one of the keys to health is minerals. Minerals, the way they work with hydrogen. Oh, I'm gonna do a video about that one. It's a secret. And it transforms the flavor of food. Now, more water content. In fact, you know what I'm gonna do? I found these, so I don't normally put these in a smoothie, but I know I've been doing it the last couple days. Can anybody guess what these are? Anybody? Somebody says, Ohayo, Draymore. Ohayo gozaimasu. Good morning. These are chestnuts. Good fats, good oils, good nutrients, good proteins, good minerals. There we go. Let's just throw a few in there for the heck of it. These have a lot of water content. Cucumbers. That's one ingredient that I have not been putting in my smoothies in the US is cucumbers. And I'm always just looking for random like vegetables and things I can put. And to be quite honest, after experiencing them, I'm gonna have to start throwing these in here because they just feel really good. Especially during the summer here. In fact, oh guys, I don't even know how much I should share, but the reason I was doing this skin video is because I went to the hot spring yesterday. I guess I'll just open up and share. I try to keep my mouth quiet about certain things because you know how people are. People get sensitive and just got to be careful with what you say these days. But somebody asked a question. Let's see. Andy Singh says, my mouth is totally watering right now. Thank you, brother, for sharing your journey. We learned so much. Always got a pencil and paper when I watch. Appreciate it around the world. Oh, thank you. And from Australia. Yeah, I think it's great that your mouth is watering for this. Probably the average person would be like, I don't know if my mouth is watering, but I would agree with you. I'm telling you, I know what this is going to taste like. And look at these carrots from Japan. Their carrots are very interesting. Let me see, how much room do I got in here? You know what, I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to. I'm gonna put 2 of these little cucumbers in there. Like I said, cucumbers are one of those interesting ingredients that I just have not been putting in these smoothies ever till I got to Japan. And what did I put in the US? Oh yes, I was putting celery in the US, but you gotta see celery here, literally just one piece, and they're like, I don't know, $2. They're just so expensive. I was like, you know what? I'll just use cucumbers, right? Change it up a little bit. And you know what? I love them. You can feel the hydration. They're just so wet and full of, you can feel the minerals. And by the way, fiber, I know I talk about it all the time, and I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here, but the magic of fiber, guys, fiber is so important. You know what? We're going to stuff this huge carrot in here. Okay. Let's do something with this carrot here. Because carrots, I'm a huge fan. In fact, you know what? Let me look real quick. One of the owners here, I'll tell you, some people, they're so kind sometimes here in Japan, it's crazy. Like, what was it? I think I said something about pumpkin. Like, I'm really, so I don't know if you guys know this, but pumpkins are like crazy good for you, right? And here, before I tell you this story, somebody's commenting, so we always want to read everybody's comments. Ator says, got my hydrogen machine a few days ago. Thank you for all the information you provide. You're very welcome, and if you did get a hydrogen machine, make sure to watch video 337 and 426 and maybe 388. Somebody write that down for him. Andy says, cucumbers full of water. Yes. Like I said, look at all the water, fiber, minerals, antioxidants, with all the nutrients too. Okay, and then Andy says, brilliant. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so, like I said, we'll see how long I'll be able to stay on camera here with you guys. But this carrot, so carrots is, for me, an absolute must-have. I gotta make sure this knife is clean, because everything smells like fish around here, dude. I do not want that in my smoothie. Hold on. I do not want my smoothie tasting like fish. And sometimes it's just fishy here this morning. And seafood, I think, personally, once in a while, it's not bad for you. The only problem is it's so contaminated these days. I mean, like, just off the charts. So if you're going to consume seafood, make sure to have a lot of fiber and a lot of hydrogen water, because they'll flush out all these heavy metals and everything out of the body. Okay. Somebody says, will you put down the recipe? Well, there is no recipe. I literally just, everything, I'm just kind of eyeballing it. And I have so many smoothie videos. You can watch them. I mean, I've been making these for years. Now, carrots, and I was telling about the kindness of the Japanese, this old lady here, it's so hilarious. Somewhere along the line, I made a comment about pumpkins. I wish I could use pumpkin in my smoothie every day, because pumpkins are so flippin' good for you. But as you guys mostly know, you know how hard it is to cut a pumpkin? I mean, it's, you know, let me check the fridge, because it's, I used them up yesterday, didn't I? Let me see. Pumpkin, where are you? Yep, I think oh, she made me this again. Here's another thing she made me. She's been making me this every day, and this is super nutritious. In fact, somebody was asking me about protein. You have no idea how much protein is in this smoothie. In fact, I just started exercising, and man, I am putting on weight. I mean, like, good weight, healthy muscle weight, and very quickly. People don't understand the secrets and the powers of hydrogen, and I'm barely eating. That's the crazy part. Like, that should not even be possible, but hey, it's amazing. So what I can tell you is this lady, she's been cutting and steaming pumpkin for me almost every day, and she puts it in the fridge. It's all nice and steamed and cooled, and then she's like, oh yeah, go ahead. And so every day I wake up and there's pumpkin for the smoothie. And guys, if you could do that, that is so flippin' good for you. I mean, I cannot even begin to tell you how strong, how I say strong because how strong of antioxidants pumpkins have, and how amazing they are, rich in minerals. And then the other one is carrots. Now carrots are a lot more doable. I got to be careful with this blade, by the way. This Japanese blade. They come from a family apparently here of like sushi chefs, and these blades get passed down from generation to generation. If you can believe that, guys, it's like a sword. It just stays good forever. And these blades are so sharp. I mean, they cut right. I mean, these carrots are not soft. Cuts right through these carrots. All right. Well, I don't know if I can stuff anything else in this blender here. And so there's been numerous people around town who have sliced their finger. And actually, I cut myself a little bit the other day, but barely. So I got to really pay attention, because this thing, one mistake and that's all it takes. You're done. There goes your finger. Okay. Japanese, I'll tell you, they have amazing metal technology, and the science of metals and metallurgy is extremely important when you're trying to build, well, good products, good blades. For the science of hydrogen, it's actually extremely important. Now, look what else this lady's making. Bean milk. And beans, by the way, rich in minerals again, and super high protein content. And somebody says, Desi says, I love pumpkin. There you go. Yeah, pumpkin soup. Just don't add dairy to it. Don't add milk or sugar. Don't ruin it. Arthur, thank you, says a tour 337, 426, and 388. You got it. There we go. Thanks, guys. Okay. Now what I'm doing now, normally I used to put just water. Personally, I think this is better. I'm using bean milk that she created. We're talking about lots of nutrients, guys. I mean, this smoothie is just jam-packed. Now, here's another secret ingredient. I say secret ingredient because secret to make the smoothie taste good. It's the banana. The banana is the magic when it comes to transforming the flavor of this smoothie. And I've been buying these bananas. I found a place where they actually sell them a little cheaper when they're a little over ripened, and so I buy them almost every day. I got to get them all fresh, and I'm going to put 2 in there for good measure today. Normally I used to only do 1 banana. 2 is fine. All right, so now we're pretty much almost done. The question is now, will this blender actually blend, because it struggled yesterday, or is it going to burn up my blender and break it? Which was my concern yesterday. I really was concerned. I'm like, okay, here we go. I'm gonna break this blender. And I don't want to break their blender. So here we go. Do you guys think that this is gonna work? The moment of truth. The moment of truth. Any votes? Thumbs up for it'll work, thumbs down for it won't work, or just say yes or no, it won't work. All right, let's go. Let's see what happens. Can you guys see it? Let's see if you can see it on camera. Yeah, you can see it. All right, here we go. I do like to stop it periodically to let all the kind of heavy stuff settle to the bottom, and it looks like it's chopping right there. I'm not trying to trash anybody, but it's interesting. I've been seeing a lot of these health channels where they say things like, they're all about juicing. I'm not going to say that juicing is bad for you, but when you strip the fiber, the science, the latest data on fiber, guys, you want your fiber. Let me tell you that. Oh, Houston, we got a problem. I can see it already. All right. I have a feeling this thing needs more water, so hold on. So what do I do thick, I'll show you my trick. Hold on a second. Let me look for my glass. And I gotta say, well, you guys probably don't know this, or maybe you do. I'm a germaphobe, so hold on, I gotta wash this glass all over again, because sometimes the way that things get washed around here, let's just say that the old lady here is a little partially blind. She can't see very well. She's very, very, very old. Very sweet though. Like I said, she's making me this milk, guys, every day. Fresh from Japanese beans here in Japan that were grown with a lot of care and no chemicals. Like, she knows all these farmers around here. She's a farmer. She's really into farming. Okay, so what do I do when I need to add water but there's no room in the smoothie? Boy, this thing looks like a cake. You should see this. Can you guys see this? Looks like I just baked a cake. And you're right, the blender did it. All right, so what I do is I pour some of this out because it's just a little thick. Actually, let me try it. Let's try it. Let's try this here. That came out quite good. I'm kind of thinking about adding something to it. You know, honestly, I got a lot of bananas that are overripe. Let's throw an extra banana in there. There's a giant smoothie, and I'm going to be sharing it. And it does make it taste better. So why not? And you know, bananas are not bad for you. Some people actually think that. There's a guy who did a crazy experiment where he ate like just a massive amount of bananas. And they checked like his blood glucose and all that stuff, and he was totally fine. And what people don't realize when it comes to blood sugars, one, it depends what type of sugar. The one that comes naturally from, oh, is somebody home? But also the fiber. That's why fruits and vegetables, that's a discovery that the Japanese basically made, is that fiber, here, hold on a second, I gotta make sure that the owners didn't get here. Don't want to disturb them. Hold on a second. Okay, no, we're good for a little bit. In fact, all right, that buys me a little bit of time. Okay, so let's add some very clean water. In fact, they got hydrogen water here. Let's add that. Hold on a second. They actually have the #1 machine, not only in the world, but the #1 machine in all of Japan because it's the best. So I get to kind of use that when I'm making my smoothies. All right, let's add some of that in there. I mean, we'll lose a lot of the hydrogen when we spin it around, but it can soak up into some of the food. Enhance it. Okay, let's try this again. The one thing I gotta say, I don't actually like drinking the smoothie while I'm smelling all this fish. I mean, this fish is just, they gotta take this bag out of here. Ugh. I know they're going to. They just have to go run some quick errands here. Okay, let's try to blend this again, see if it makes it better here. Wow, I still think it's kind of thick. You know what, let's do this. I'll show you another secret, by the way. I'm going to share this smoothie with them, so check this out. We'll take a jar. This is like an amazing secret for your health. When you're making a smoothie, you take some hydrogen water, clean hydrogen and clean water, both, and you just cut it. You actually cut the smoothie. Let's see how thick this is. Oh geez, it's still really thick. Okay, we're gonna have to add a little bit more water again, but that way the hydrogen stays intact right there. This time, you know what? Let's grab this. This is my carbon and then distilled clean water here. This thing still needs water. in my opinion. I mean, I don't mind it being thick, but I think the average person, if I'm going to share some of this with the owners here. All right, let's try that. You know, if you guys are interested, I guess you can comment below. You should see the smoothie machines they have here at their 7-Elevens. You go to a 7-Eleven in America, it's like old hot dogs rolling around in one of those machines to keep them warm forever. And just all sorts of garbage food. You go into the 7-Eleven in Japan, they got a smoothie, they got pre-made smoothies. And you put them in this machine and it's just crazy. I'm not kidding you, it's crazy. Now there we go. Now this is still thick, but this is now doable here. Here we go. This is the borderline perfect consistency. So when she gets home, I'm like, hey, do you want a smoothie? It's in the fridge for you. Just like all this milk and other pumpkins, and you do all these nice things for me. I would do it anyway. Just to be nice and say thank you. All right, now I'm gonna drink some of this thicker one. And mix this with it. Oh yeah, that looks way better. Okay, here we go. All right, guys, well, any last questions? I'm sure I'll have to go soon. Let's see here. So there's your demonstration. People don't believe it, but believe it or not, I live off of this thing for my breakfast. It's funny, the Japanese people here couldn't believe it. Like, that's what you eat for breakfast? Breakfast, a little bit for lunch, and then I'll have typically a healthy Japanese dinner these days. All right, well, I can answer more questions or I could just say goodbye. But I'm gonna go sit down. I'm taking the camera with me here. This is good. There was the lady here invited some of her friends from out of town. I'll tell you, the only thing about the Japanese, they just bring all these little treats. Look how small this is, but these little things, oh my gosh, they're really good, okay? They're ridiculously delicious, and it's not good. It's not good because then I end up, well, I didn't eat them, but they all ate them for breakfast here. Okay, this way I can still see a little bit of the picture here. All right, I'll probably say goodbye unless you guys have any final questions. Enjoy my smoothie here. I'm gonna put away all my produce. Gotta go put this stuff back in the fridge. Some of this in the tatami room. Oh, okay. All right, guys. I don't see any other questions. Boy, I am so... See, this is exactly why they shouldn't put these on the table. I'm tempted to have one of these little things. I have cheat days once in a while, but can't have too many of them. Okay, what time is it? Just woke up here. Look at that. All done with the smoothie by 9 in the morning. I'm gonna go to the Springs. I'm gonna go for a bike ride. I'm going to get some exercise, go to the gym here. And I should show you, if you guys want to see this, how these Japanese coffee makers, the way they make the coffee is so interesting. Really weird. Okay, last chance. I don't see any questions, so I think I am going to say goodbye. Thanks for hanging out, guys. See you next time on the next one. Thanks for all the thumbs up. See you later, Desi. De la fe. Hasta luego. Goodbye.